Hello everyone, SimsEclaire here and welcome back to my channel. For today's video we are doing yet another speed build. This time it is a Victorian house. So I was inspired by a couple of different pictures on Pinterest, but I was looking through the different worlds, honestly trying to find a lot that I hadn't built on yet, because I have one save where I've done all of the builds for my channel and I am seriously lacking in lots now. I haven't deleted any of the homes that came with the world in this save, or with any of the worlds in this save, so obviously I can start deleting homes and I'll have enough lots again, but I was trying not to delete any homes, and when trying to find an extra lot lying around, I did actually stumble upon Glimmerbrook. And if you guys remember, I had done a Glimmerbrook orphanage on my channel a while ago. Actually, I think it was maybe in August, but I did it for one of the Simmers Digest build challenges, and I had built this huge Victorian traditional style home, and it was large and gorgeous, and I was really inspired by that home to do kind of like a smaller version. And I figured since they were both going to be in Glimmerbrook, then maybe like the whole neighborhood was full of Victorian houses, which also definitely matches the, you know, kind of magic style, the witchy style that we got with the pack. So I was really excited to kind of play around a bit more with Victorian homes. And one of the reference pictures I was using on Pinterest, the house was all white and black, but I've been doing white and black houses for a while, so I wanted to kind of try and switch it up, and I found this, well, I think that's called scallop siding. I think that's what it's called, but it's from Cats and Dogs, and I found it in this light blue color, and I thought using this with the white would be so cute, so I decided to go ahead and use this light blue, and I think it turns out really well, or it turns out really good. The inside doesn't really match the outside because the inside is still really dark. You'll see that when we get to the inside, but I really like how the outside turned out, so I didn't want to change it after I had done the interior, so I hope you guys don't mind that much. I thought maybe like the house had been built, but the family living here maybe wasn't the original owners, or maybe it was a part of the same family but not the people who had built the house, so the interior styles were a little different. You can get away with that in the, you know, in storytelling quite a bit, because you can always say that the people who moved into the house were not the people who built it, so it's a little easy to get away with not having the interior match with the exterior. But right now I'm building a little upstairs balcony area. I've never done front balconies before on like a second level. Obviously I've done front porches, but front balconies is something I don't think I've ever done, at least on my channel, but I'm honestly thinking back to it, and I don't think I've ever done front balconies in a build at all, so I really wanted to try and kind of change things up a little bit. There is eventually going to be a door here that will obviously lead out onto the balcony, and it's from the quote-unquote sunroom. Now, there isn't a whole lot of windows in the room, so it isn't really a sunroom. It's more of like a hobby area. I get a easel and I think a chest table in there, but that room leads out onto the balcony, and I figured that the Sims who lived here would definitely, you know, read. I don't have any TVs or any like modern, quote-unquote modern equipment here in this build, so I figured that they were definitely readers and artists, and they followed the more traditional route of entertainment. So I hope you guys don't mind that. Obviously there is a living room, so if you would rather have a TV, then you can go ahead and just add one. I would recommend taking away the chair that I put in it and just adding a TV stand instead. But right now we're doing something that I've never done before, and I thought it just kind of added a little bit of extra something to the build. I added extra roof pieces, and then I'm changing the front pieces of these roofs to be tile, so that way they have a different pattern than the rest of the house. And I saw this quite a bit on reference pictures for Victorian era homes, and I don't know necessarily if they're tile in those homes, but that was the easiest one I could think of to get these patterns that match the blue. So I think the tile that I'm using is the base game one, the ones that I always put in my kitchens, and because the roofs are so short, it doesn't show the top half of the wall that doesn't have any tile on it, and I think that it just looks kind of nice, and it kind of breaks up the pattern of the exterior a little bit. And I know I've talked on my channel before about trying to find new things so that way my exteriors don't look entirely the same all the time. So I think that that's a nice little addition. And then back here, I'm starting with a really small fenced in garden, but I do end up making it a lot bigger and making it a little seating area. I found the romantic garden flowers. You can see me using them here, and also some of the statues, and I was really inspired to kind of just expand this into an outdoor seating area because I feel like that's very Victorian, like having this little romantic path out to the garden and having a little outdoor bench by a fountain. So I do end up filling in this area with some flowers, but as you can see, I'm leaving in the terrain paint and I'm adding some benches. Right now I'm using the Realm of Magic ones, but I do end up switching them out for the, I just said the pack name too. Oh my god. Oh, the Romantic Garden. That's what they are. That's what they're called. I switch it out for the Romantic Garden ones, so that way they have the moss growing over them and they kind of look a little bit more natural. And then I'm just adding a little bit of light around. And as you can tell, I kind of played with the terrain paint a little bit. I lifted up the house on the foundations a lot because I really wanted there to be this large steep staircase in the front of the house. So I think it's like 6 levels high, the foundation, so I wanted to add a little bit of terrain modification so that way there wasn't just like an entire like 300 feet of foundation exposed on the exterior of the build. It was a little bit more raised and it was covered a little bit more. And then going on into the interior, I did cut out the floor plan. Please don't hate me. The floor plan took way too long and it was a lot of my camera moving around and everything, and I didn't think that you guys would be able to enjoy it, so I did decide to cut it out again. And going over here into just the front parlor area, it's just a simple mirror and a table with some decorations. I was really trying to find different decorations, and don't hate me, but a lot of the decorations on this table are actually from Journey to Batu. I don't know what it was, but a lot of them, like that vase in the background and then this thing on the left that almost looks like a globe but not really, they were just really screaming Victorian vibes to me, and I'm not 100% sure why, because that pack is not Victorian at all, but they were just, I was feeling it when I was doing this build, so please don't hate me. But and then going over here, I'm just adding a thermostat, a coat rack. I think I add some pictures here, yeah, the vampire pictures, and then I also get a quote-unquote lamp in the corner. It's the candlestick one, and I actually wasn't going to use these because I had another build that I had used them on, and then I remembered that you guys aren't going to see that build. So not that I want you guys to hate me because I'm sitting here talking about a build that you guys won't see, but I built the house from Practical Magic, and it was supposed to go up on my channel for my 30 days of like horror house builds or whatever, the thing that I was doing for Halloween, and I didn't finish it in time, so it never went up. But then when I did finish it, the video was so long. That house literally, so I started that house in September and I didn't finish it until like November 15th. That's how long that house took me, because I just kept going back and finding things in the movie that I had forgotten to place or that didn't make any sense with the way I built the house, so I kept having to go back in and change things. And when I put the whole video together and sped it up to 7 times the speed, it was still over an hour. And I just couldn't, I was like, I haven't even edited this, or I edited this down and it's 6 or 7 times the speed, and I just couldn't fathom uploading a video that was over an hour. And then even if I split it into 2 videos, it would have been like 40 minutes of video, and even if I split it into 3, it would have been like 30 minutes of video, 25, 30 minutes of video, and I was like, this is just going to be way too long. So I did decide just to scrap the footage of it. Not to mention it was taking up way too much space on my computer. So I did decide to scratch the footage of it. If you guys want pictures, I do have screenshots. I can post them on my Twitter. Just let me know in the comments down below, and I will definitely do that for you guys. I just really didn't think that anyone, because I don't even think I would sit there and watch either 3 30-minute installments or 1 like hour and a half long installment, so I hope you guys don't mind that much. But the living room has come together rather quickly. If you saw where that leather chair was by the picture, that's where I would recommend putting the TV, just because I think that makes the most sense. And then going into the kitchen, I built this really wonky. So like the exterior of this build, I was so proud of that when I went on into the interior, I was like, you know, it doesn't really matter that it's all misshapen and really awkward looking. I'm just gonna make it work, and I think making it work is the key term here in this kitchen. At this point, I don't know if this is functional. I am, though, gonna definitely test this one before I put it up on the gallery. So stay tuned. The kitchen might look a little different if you download it, just in case it is not, not completely functional. I do leave a counter bare. My only issue is that I don't know if, because the counters are overlapping with each other, if it's going to register that the counter that I leave is bare. So that's the part that I have to check. Obviously the stove and the refrigerator are fine because those are both off to the side. I just have to make sure that there is a counter that your Sims can cook on. But besides that, I just clutter up the counters a little bit. I really liked how this kitchen looked. I've never done curved kitchens like this, and I thought that it fit the style of the home with how, like, kind of quirky it was, but it also looked super nice with those, like, windows right by the front, so that's why I really didn't want to change it, and I'm really hoping that I don't have to, that it's completely functional. But anyway, this is the room off to the side. This is where the back door is. I was trying not to use too much extra stuff, so because I didn't think this house would be overly cluttered, so I didn't want to add like shoe racks or anything like that. So I just put a simple love seat back here, and then I do believe I add a coat rack on the wall. If I'm not mistaken, the wall by the door, I think I add that base game wall coat rack thing that has the hat and like the one jacket. Yeah, this item right here, I add this, and then maybe another lamp, one of the candlestick ones, and then we are upstairs. So this is the sunroom that I was talking about. It has another one of these little curved walls, so I do add another one of these couches, and I don't use these that often, so I was kind of happy that I got to use them twice in one build because they really are gorgeous items. It just takes so much effort to be able to use them because usually when I do them, I have to place the couch down first and then build the walls around the couch because I can never get the angle correct. So I was really happy that with this house, not only did I get it once, but twice I was able to get it to work. And then, like I said, I get a chess table and an easel in here, and then I just place a simple painting, and then I add a couple of chairs out there, but I ended up cutting it out because it really wasn't that big of a deal. It's just a couple of chairs. I don't even think I put a table out there. I literally think it's just the 2 chairs. But anyway, this is the upstairs bathroom, and this build does only have 2 bathrooms, one to be shared between the both upstairs bedrooms. I didn't think, old houses didn't have a lot of plumbing. That wasn't really how they worked back then, so I thought them even having 2 bathrooms was a bit excessive, but I figured they definitely did a little bit of remodeling, so I thought that just having the 2 would be fine. And then I use one of these dressers, and I don't use these that often because they take up so much space, but I had this extra like corner off to the side there that you can see, and I thought that that would be a perfect space for a vanity. And then going over here, I'm just doing a dresser, and I was going to place one of the clocks, but all of the clocks we have in the game are seriously like it's not symmetrical. That's not the word that I'm looking for. I can't, but you guys know what I'm talking about. They're like either way too big or way too small. Like they don't make any sense in terms of wall placement. So that's why I usually don't add any clocks except for the tabletop ones and like grandfather clocks. And just like a quick side note, this room here, I didn't necessarily know if it would be for a kid or a teenager. I wasn't really thinking about who was living in this house. I definitely just thought that it would be a single bed because A, there wasn't enough space for a double bed, and B, I didn't think that there'd be 2 double beds, but I mean there could be if it was just like a guest room. But besides that, that is pretty much it for this build, so I hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye!